Good evening, everybody. This is Mr. Abdulwahab Jamal saluting all of you into a new English session. Today we are going to deal with the pronunciation part of the homophones. This is a lesson plan, by the way, dear teachers, dear guardians. I'm going to explain how to teach this part of Unit 1, Life Choices, for Grade 12 Scientific Section. Now, if you will look at the word homophones, you will find that this is a compound word of homo and phone. Homo, which means same, and phone, which means sound. Homophone, same sound. So we are talking about words which have the same sound, but of course different spelling or different writing. And when you have a word which has a different spelling, of course it has a different meaning. So you have two words, they have the same sound, but of course they have different meaning and different spelling. That's the topic of today. I prepared a lesson plan, okay? The lesson plan is regarded for grade 12, section Scientific and Literature, Syrian curriculum, national curriculum, of course. Duration is between 40 to 60 minutes. The topic is homophones. The objectives, we are going to teach students what the meaning of homophones, how to decipher or to choose the homophone correctly in the context, and of course we are going to enhance the pronunciation and the vocabulary skills inside the session. Now, objectives, if you want to go to break them, I have 4 objectives: to understand what the meaning of homophone in general, and to recognize the common homophone in specific, according of course to a model test. That's the text. Okay, our text is that one, the career, future careers. So we have some homophones. We will extract them from the text, and then for sure we are going to improve the pronunciation of them by comparing the two words, the different spelling, and how to use homophones in context, how to choose the word, the correct word. Materials needed, of course, as a teacher, I need a whiteboard or a smart board and a marker for sure. I need the printed worksheets with homophones, or if you wish to have the students' books or the activity books, it will be fine. Audio clip, video, for example, in order to present the pronunciation, because this is a pronunciation part, pronunciation, okay? And we have a flashcards, for example, homophones, in order to make a game or an activity inside the text, inside the session, sorry. And we have, or we need a projector or a smart board in case you have these facilities, you have these digital materials inside your school. The breakdown of the lesson, the procedures, we have 5 steps. We have the introduction, which is 5 minutes. I will warm up. I will try to break the ice. I will start by writing the word homophones on the board, and I will try to cut the word homophones into homo, the prefix, which means the same, and phone, which is the sound. I will briefly explain that homophones are words which have the same sound, but they have different meanings and different spelling. And I will provide simple example, like the word there and there. They have the same meaning, sorry, they have the same sound, but they have different meaning, okay? And of course, different spelling. So there, I will try to color those 2 letters, and there, I will color these letters as well. Of course, the meaning, there, it's a possessive pronoun, and there, it's a place. I will give another meaning, to and two, okay? And two as well, two, which means two, number, and two, which means also, it's an adverb, and I have two, which is a preposition. So I have a different word class I have different meaning, and I have different spelling. I will ask them, of course, to present their own examples. I will go now through the presentation or the demonstration. If I have a video or if I have a PPT, a presentation, I have to demonstrate it on the board now. I will define the homophone. I will write again, or I will say again that there are words which have the same pronunciation but different meaning and spelling. I will write a few pairs of the board or on the board, like sun, sun, road, road, okay? And I will let the students to guess the meaning. It is okay, for example, to write some meanings and let's match the meanings if you wish to make it easier for them. That depends on the student's level in your class teachers. Now, dear guardian, you have to introduce the common homophone pairs. Maybe you can read the text itself, or maybe you can present the word after reading the text. You will tell them, let's extract these words. Okay? So the idea is to highlight on the words or the common homophones. By the way, you have to stress on the word pairs. There are two or three words which have the same sound, okay? And exactly the same sound. That's the homophone. Examples from the text: way, way, weather, weather, sun, sun, road, road, right, right, bye, bye, here, here, eight, eight, okay? Those can be found inside the text itself, okay? Inside the student's book. Before solving this, before doing the exercise, you can write those pairs, okay, those italic pairs, and ask them, can you give me the meaning of each word? According to the meaning of each word, they can solve the exercise. Okay? Now, focus on pronunciation. Highlight that while the words sound the same, the spellings is different, and the meaning, of course, is different according to the context or according to the sentence. And you may use audio clip, you may use a video, you may use, for example, phonetic symbol. If you have a dictionary, you can open the dictionary and tell them the symbol of the spelling or the symbol of the pronunciation. If you have that, uh, if you have the access, of course, to that part. Another activity, for example, if you wish to make the practice, go to the book and try to solve that one. If you have a spelling sheet, you can, for example, a worksheet, fill in the blank, pair work 2 by 2, distribute the worksheets which you prepare, a worksheet, for example, and tell them choose the best one, or let them solve this exercise from the book. Activity 2, for example, it could be individual or in group. After they complete the fill in the blank task or choose from the pairs, you have to take turn in reading sentences aloud, and it's okay to correct for each other or to encourage the class to listen and give feedback of pronunciation. Do we have any differentiation in pronunciation or not? Okay. If you have a recording, if you have access to online, for example, gamification, or any application which can provide the pronunciation, it would be perfect. In the last 10 minutes, the last activity, you can tell them after you understand the meaning of the words and you understand the meaning of the homophones and how to use them. I need you now to create yourself. So here we have recall. We remind them of the meaning of homophones, and here we applied the rule. Here we try to compare between the words, we analyze or we evaluate, and here it is okay to let them create now. I'm talking about the Bloom taxonomy. in learning, objectives learning. So activity 3, let them create their own sentences. It's a group or small groups. Students will choose 5 homophones pairs, and you will ask them to write sentences from their own. It is okay to use the text words as well, just to remind them of the keywords. Encourage them to be creative. Let them write complicated sentences, not simple sentence. And after a few minutes, ask students to share their sentences with the class, and when you find something very interesting, it is okay to write it on the board and present it in front of everybody. Now, in order to make an assessment or an assignment, you have two types of assignments. You have the formative one and you have the summative one. The formative one, it is to make the practice inside the text, inside the session, like doing that one, for example, or doing the worksheet. Go over review the key point and go over the sentences which they created, solve with them, correct with them, reinforce the importance and understanding of the homophones. That's the formative. And for the summative, it is okay to give them an assignment, a writing assignment, a homework. Okay, assigned to students to write a short paragraph related to the topic of the text, which is the future career. And let them, for example, to write 5 or 6 homophones correctly. Use them inside their writing. Be careful to, as we said, this is the assessment. Be careful to the formative and the summative. Okay. The formative, you can do it inside the class, observing the students' participation. Okay. And the summative, it is a writing task or a homework, which is written task. You have to differentiate your groups inside the class. You have the weak students, the struggling students, and you have the advanced students or the above the level students. Provide additional examples for those who are struggling and offer extra practice or visual aids or flashcards to make it simple and easy for them. And pair them with the stronger students. So put student A with the student B with the student C. Try to all the time differentiate the level in the group in order to help the poor and give responsibility to the strong. And for advanced students, encourage them to come up with their more complex sentences and to try to let them create, okay? And even teach them less common homophones to further challenge them. In the end, you have to remind them of the homophones pairs, try to write them on the board, okay? Because this is the essence of the text. The way, weather, weather, sun, sun, road, road, right, right, homophones pairs, to be continued by, here, here, 8, 8, C, there, and they are. And I have your, I have two, I have two, and I have no, and I have peace, peace, and week. I have our, then, whole, and the floor, and bear. All of these words are very important, and they are very good example of homophones. By doing this, we can say that we give a good idea about the homophones. Okay, I'd like to thank you so much, teachers. Next session, inshallah, we will be doing the lesson breakdown and the explanation. After that, we will do the worksheets. Thank you so much and have a good night.